For my students' work that includes addition and subtraction, I chose to do my second grade students' exit cards because it really shows if students are comprehending the coursework from the lesson or not. Students' exit cards are used as a formative assessment for my mentor teacher to check in on if students are understanding on what components are they struggling or going wrong with. The exit card goes with their Chapter 10, Lesson 7, which they work on through group work with the class on the smartboard, which leads into independent work where questions and help are encouraged and welcome. They work in their workbooks. This particular problem focuses in on if students are recognizing they need to regroup and take to borrowing/trading with units regarding hundreds, tens, and ones. Second graders at this level should be working with 3-digit numbers. In the examples, we see a wide range of understandings of the mathematical concepts. The problems for this exit cards want students to show one or two methods, any of both work. For example, let's start with the example from the student Charlotte. Now, Charlotte used a method learned in class that day that skipped the steps of regrouping by changing the hundreds, for example, the 2 zeros at the end meaning 600, 500, 300, and making numbers that subtract into simpler equations to solve. 600 minus 1 gives us 599, and she knew what happens to one side must be done to the other, and understands 365 taken away leaves us with 364, resulting in 235. Along with Charlotte is Giovanni, who is currently being tested with the school. He understood the layout of the boxes but guessed on his answers. Later we will see more example of guesses. I grouped Ilea and Camila together because I thought it showed a great job of where on the next day a mini lesson could be incorporated, why it's so important to make sure numbers are being brought over and traded out correctly. You look at the number 19, you see their solutions differ by 10. This is because, as the teacher, I am able to observe Xylea forgot to trade out the 10 in the tens place for the value of 9, which affected her answer by 1 tens block. In the manipulative style, we are able to see along, or just by calling the number 10. Camila is solving her exit card like Charlotte, counting down to make the subtraction problem without the regrouping process. Again, either method is accepted, but I am able to understand those students mastered that mathematical concept and are ready to move on, whereas some are still working on it. Again, no worries, all learning is welcome and celebrated. Lastly, I know only 2 to 3 students' work was needed, but I felt it was important to point out which students turned theirs in first and who guessed, and I can understand they are tired, don't understand the process or content, checked out, or just not trying. Solutions could be extending questions to guide a discussion to see what they are confused about or missing and where I can offer support. Kayla and Anthony are both great students. Kayla is more advanced in language arts than math, and Anthony is an emergent bilingual English language learner in our class. I think the exit card goes great with math practice number 1, making sense of problems and persevering in solving them. This is a strong connection on comparing problems having to do with the difference between two quantities. I think it's important that Chapter 8 noted making the problem make sense at their language. An example would be asking the question, how much less? This way, a second grade student understands. I like how my mentor teacher played a video alongside teaching which visually showed how regrouping was done with manipulatives, base 10 flats, longs, and units. In the end, we can see how all these students depicted the problem differently by observing and analyzing their work at the end of the lesson to check what students are retaining and able to perform at their skill level, yet offers a challenge.